You're listening to Mic Drop Moments, a podcast brought to you each week with me, your host, Sandra Garlick. During the podcast, I invite guests to share their amazing stories, knowledge and top tips, including their mic drop moments, especially for you. I also share my learning and inspiration about life, business growth and visibility. I'm delighted to bring the Mic Drop Moments podcast to you each week to inspire and motivate you to achieve. Enjoy the podcast and don't forget to leave a review. Mic Drop Moments is sponsored by Grow Radio. Want to launch your own podcast? Grow Radio are here to help. Grow Radio has launched and supported countless podcasts, and they'd love to do the same for you. Just hit record and they'll handle the rest. No editing stress, no technical faff, just a great podcast released when you want. Need a little extra support? Grow Radio's workshops and courses make getting started easy. Let's bring your podcast to life. Message Grow Radio on social media. Let's make this happen. Welcome to Mic Drop Moments. This is a solo episode today, and it's all about be seen, be heard, and be celebrated. And I wanted to specifically record this episode for you today because we've just delivered the Woman Who Live and Achieves Awards on Friday. And there's going to be some special bonus episodes coming your way this week, live from the recordings that we took on Friday. But first, I want to talk about something I think a lot of women in business struggle with, and that's celebrating themselves. A lot of women I know are incredible at championing others, me included. I love to see others shine in the spotlight. I love to see speakers I've worked with giving their all on stage and the applause they receive. However, most people, and you might find this is you as well, you'll happily cheer on a client. You'll more than celebrate a friend's success, and you'll support another woman in business loudly and proudly. And that's something I saw on Friday, and I always see at my awards, that surge of energy that comes towards me on stage when we've announced a winner and they're walking towards the stage and everybody is really, really cheering for them and happy for them. But when it comes to your own achievements, I see a lot of people suddenly shrink. And rather than put themselves forward, they're more than happy to put others forward. And they think, oh, it's not really a big deal. You know, I've done that. Oh, yeah, it's not really a big thing. And I've done this myself recently. I won an award recently at the Best SME Awards, and it wasn't just any award. It was a special recognition award for the work I've done over the last few decades. And I was like that. I was always, it's nothing really. I was just doing my job. It's what I do. Don't want to sound big-headed. So I probably haven't shouted about it as much as I should do. And I will shout about it a lot more in the coming weeks. But I think that's exactly where the visibility gap begins. And obviously, every single year when I leave that awards room, I feel emotional, inspired, exhausted, very exhausted, and I usually need a holiday straight afterwards. But I'm incredibly proud, not just because of the winners and the finalists and the entrants in the room, but everybody that showed up, everybody that's decided that they want to be in that space. And it's the stories we hear as well. And it's the courage that it took for people to put themselves forward to enter those awards, and the journeys that the judges have seen, the stories behind the businesses, and the conversations that happen on the day, just in across the table, in corners of the room, at the expo stands. And then the women that have walked in on their own, nervous, a little bit of apprehensive, a little bit of anxiety maybe, and they walk out connected and just that little bit taller. And I think the one thing that stands out to me after every awards event is that so many women still struggle fully own their own achievements. And I hear it all the time. I didn't expect to win. I nearly didn't enter. I entered in the last 2 hours. I almost talked myself out of coming today. And yet those same women are often the ones inspiring everybody else in the room. They just don't realize it. And they're also, the visibility, the confidence, the credibility, the connections made. And it's reminding other women that what they've built matters. So if they hadn't entered, if they hadn't put themselves forward, if they hadn't turned up on the day, if they hadn't shared the win, then they wouldn't be able to inspire somebody else that's feeling exactly like they were. And I think sometimes we underestimate the ripple effect of being visible. Sometimes we put ourselves forward and don't realize the impact we have on others. Somebody in that room on Friday will now go and pitch themselves for a speaking opportunity somewhere because they've got the confidence to do so. They might start finally sharing their story more confidently online. They might stop hiding behind their business and step forward as the face of their brand. And that's powerful. That's really powerful. Visibility isn't just about being loud online. It's about building that recognition over time, building that trust, the authority, and a brand that people remember. But you have to be prepared to put yourself out there just occasionally. And often the women that are creating the biggest impact are the ones quietly getting on with it behind the scenes without fully realizing that people are watching. People are noticing. People are paying attention. And your audience doesn't just buy your products or services, they buy your credibility, your confidence, your energy, your story, and the consistency. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, I'm posting on social media and I don't get any likes and I don't get any comments, but people are watching. Don't give up. And I'm not talking about posting every single day. I'm certainly not doing that at the moment. But people come to me and say, I've been watching your socials for years, and yet they've never liked, they've never commented. So if you've got something to shout about, if you've got an achievement, then put it out there. I guarantee you, if you put a celebration out there, a celebration post of something, you'll get far more engagement than any sales post you ever promote. Let me just briefly interrupt this podcast for a moment. There have been times in my business when I was everywhere, speaking, hosting, exhibiting, sponsoring, posting on socials. Visible? Absolutely. Connected? Not always. Because visibility without connection doesn't grow your audience. I want to invite you to a secret podcast, How to Grow Your Audience and Connect. It's where I share what actually works, how to build your audience, and how to build an audience that trusts you, engages with you, and buys from you. Not more noise, not about the vanity metrics, real connection, real growth. If that's for you, the link is in the show notes. I'd love to see you there. And your wins become proof, not in an ego way, but they position you. And that's the difference. I think a lot of people carry old messaging around visibility. They think it's about showing off. They think it's about talking about yourself too much, being humble, staying quiet, letting somebody else shine. And I've done that. I've been there and thought, no, I'll just sit back and let others do it. Let others be the gobby ones. And sometimes I still do that to an extent. But whilst there's absolutely nothing wrong with that humility, there's a huge difference between humility and invisibility. Because if you don't do anything, you're never going to be seen. And if you constantly downplay your achievements, people never really understand the value that you bring. And in today's world, sadly, visibility matters. It's so noisy out there. And especially if you want speaking opportunities or podcast invitations, collaborations, media features, partnerships, clients, all those things, people need to see what you do. And one of the things I love about the Woman Who Achieves Awards and the Solopreneur Awards, which launch on the 1st of June, by the way, is that they create moments of visibility for women who might never otherwise step into the spotlight. And sometimes that shift happens before the event even takes place. The moment someone's nominated, the moment they receive that email with the logo, proud to be nominated, the moment they post the graphic, the moment they finally say publicly, yeah, I'm proud to be nominated. I'm proud of what I've built. I put myself forward for an award. That's visibility. I'm putting myself forward for awards right now, and I know exactly how it feels. That strange moment when you start to see the finalists announced and you think, oh, I haven't received an email. Maybe it's not me this time. And that's okay, because every time we sit down and enter ourselves for awards, we are sitting down and creating that snapshot moment of where we are right now. And when you do post things out there that you've entered an award or you've been nominated or you're a finalist, it tells the world, oh, this is someone to watch. This is somebody I need to keep my eye on. That's powerful positioning. And yet so many people wait until they win or don't win in a lot of cases, because not everyone can be a winner on the day. What about if you made yourself a winner from the moment you entered an award? And some of the biggest opportunities come from sharing the journey, not just the outcome. So talk about what led to that moment. Talk about the hard days, the doubts, the lessons, the growth. Gosh, on the day I'm recording this, I'm having a hard day. I'm absolutely shattered, but I'm still pressing on. I'm still being visible because I know my audience need to see that. And some of my audience will actually see me looking tired and bedraggled, because people connect to the stories far more than polished success but the posts. And you'll notice we no longer polish anything. My podcasts are no longer polished. You'll hear me stumble on my words. You'll hear me say and We just leave it in. You'll hear the dog bark. You'll hear all sorts of things going on. And that's life. That's real life. Anyone can post a picture holding an award, anyone. But when you share the story behind it, that's where the connection happens. That's where the trust starts to build. And one piece of recognition can create months of visibility if you use it intentionally. So think about it. One award nomination could become a LinkedIn post or an Instagram post, a podcast topic, a networking conversation, a speaking introduction, a press feature, an email newsletter to your audience, an about section update on your website. Think about how to turn your celebrations into strategy. And the other thing I see happen time and time again through the awards process is recognition opens doors. It really, really does. It opens doors to opportunities you cannot even imagine. And it leads to invitations for those women that step forward, invitations to feature on panels, on podcasts, guest speaking, workshops, collaborations. Because when people see you showing up consistently, they begin to view you differently. It elevates you, not just as someone running a business, but as someone leading conversations, somebody who's willing to put themselves out there, somebody that's willing to put themselves forward, someone with credibility, with authority, and most importantly, someone people remember. And that matters if you want long-term growth. So I often say to my audience and my clients, your personal brand isn't just what's built around what you do. It's not just around what you do itself. It's about what you become known for. And your wins help shape that narrative. You know, I didn't suddenly wake up one day and say, oh, I need to have a personal brand. What I did was I built it consistently over a period of 25 years. Yes, 25 years. And it's evolved, it's tweaked, it's changed as I've gone from being a solicitor to doing what I do now. But it's always there. And I've moved from job to job, from corporate to my self-employed, from my first business to my second business. And my personal brand is still there. It's still evolving. People tend to know me. And That's a good thing, but I have to keep working at it. I don't just sit there and think, right, done that. Now I'll move on to something else. I have to keep working on it. And instead of brushing your achievements aside, start asking yourself, what does this say about me? What themes keep appearing? What am I becoming known for? And that's where your positioning starts to become stronger. And if celebrating yourself feels a little uncomfortable, try reframing it. You're not sharing your wins to make others feel small. You're sharing them because somewhere another woman is watching, quietly thinking, if she can do that, maybe I can too. When I first started Woman Who, my mission was simple. My mission was to create more women in business role models to inspire others. I'm a big believer you can't be what you can't see. If I can create an opportunity for a woman to share her story and somebody hears that story and they're sitting in the audience and thinking, oh, that's me. I resonate with that. I've been through that journey, or something resonates with you. And you think, well, if she can do it, I can do it. And that's why I want to create more women in business role models. That ripple effect matters. It's all about putting yourself out there, being a little bit visible. And I've seen it happen in award rooms over and over again. One woman steps forward and another decides maybe she can too. One woman speaks on stage and another finally pitches herself for a panel. One woman shares her story publicly. You will have seen the recent edition of I Am a Woman Who, the Visibility Edition, the fifth book in the series. And the idea of that book was to inspire others. Because if one woman shares her story publicly, another finds the courage to stop hiding. That's why visibility matters. And it's why being seen, being heard, and being celebrated is about so much more than a trophy. It's about recognizing your value before the world finally catches up and says, what's she doing? It's about putting yourself out there. So before I leave you today, I want to give you 5 little things that you can do right now to stop hiding your achievements and start turning your visibility into momentum. So number 1, share one win this week. Now, it could be an award win, or it could just simply be walking into a room you've never been into before. Big or small, share something you're proud of, not just the outcome, but the story behind it. What did it take? What did you learn? Why does it matter? That's the kind of content that people connect with. Number 2, stop waiting for a trophy. You do not need to win an award to be worthy of visibility. Celebrate the milestones, celebrate your client results, celebrate media features. If you were in the room on Friday, celebrate somebody else who won, be their champion. Testimonials, speaking opportunities, personal breakthroughs, recognition comes in many forms. Number 3, update your visibility assets. Go and update your bio, your LinkedIn profile, your summary, your website, or your speaker intro with some of your latest achievements. So many women achieve amazing things and never update the places people actually look. Number 4, say yes to one visibility opportunity. Apply to be on that panel, pitch to be on that podcast, enter awards. You can enter the Solopreneur Awards from the 1st of June if you're a sole trader or sole director. Go to a networking event. Put yourself in a room you've never walked into before. Put yourself forward. Visibility grows through action, not through overthinking. Finally, number 5, capture the moments you normally rush past. Take the photo, take a bit of B-roll video, screenshot the testimonials, save the message, document the journey. These moments become stories, and stories build connection, credibility, and your personal brand over time. And here's your mic drop moment. Visibility isn't about showing off. It's about allowing people to fully see the value you bring. Because when you choose to be seen, heard, and celebrated, you give others permission to step forward too. Thanks for listening to Mic Drop Moments this week. There's going to be a couple of bonus episodes coming your way, as I said, from interviews we conducted at the awards. If this episode or any other episode resonated with you and you're ready to build visibility more intentionally through speaking, personal brand growth, opportunities and strategic positioning, then come and talk to me about the Amplify experience. I am taking on my next Super 7 and I've got a very special offer for you. This is my 6-month small curated visibility and speaking experience designed specifically to amplify you, your voice and your business. It includes one-to-ones, it includes face-to-face strategy days, it includes weekly sessions working on your keynotes. It's a way to get you seen, heard and visible. And remember, your voice matters, your story matters, and your visibility matters too. I'll be back very soon with another episode. Thank you for listening to the Mic Drop Moments podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Join me next week for more inspiration, learning and top tips. Want to work with me on your business growth and strategy, speaking or simply growing your audience? Just get in touch. Visit womanwho.co.uk to find out how you can start your speaking and visibility journey or even feature on a future podcast. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's podcast, and if there are any topics you would like to hear, just get in touch with me, your host, Sandra Garlick.